is the biggest secret to sustaining a positive habit, and especially not relapsing and going back on a destructive one. So I'm not gonna lie, I have been tempted once or twice with the old Mary Jane, especially seeing these elaborate, fancy shops. Even when you do break a lifelong addiction, it doesn't mean that some tempting waves are gonna hit you every once in a while. But with each cycle, I don't trick myself as easily, because it's like, I've been down this path before. Just ain't worth it, mate. I don't even know where I'm going here, mate. Yeah, this place is kind of cool, actually. Sawadee Cup. Hello. I'm supposed to go the opposite direction because I wanted to spend sunset at the park to get some peace and quiet. And even though it's not as peaceful as a Buddhist monastery here, it's definitely a lot quieter than being right by the bustling streets as I'm about to wander into. But yeah, anyways, that was the first time I walked down this track. I don't know what it's called, but it looks like it goes for a while. It's like a whole society who lives by the railway. Pretty cool. And not one tourist there. So one of the things that I appreciated about in general was the culture. Was because like I'm not a bar guy, I'm not a pub guy. Alcohol is just not my thing. And so I don't enjoy going to pubs and bars and that alcohol environment. But I did enjoy going to these dispensaries. Of course, because I loved smoking, but second of all, I love the environment, you know? I found that stoners were more relatable, at least compared to drinkers. And it's not like that one's better than the other, but it's more of a resonance kind of thing. And I really resonated with the weed culture. And now that I don't smoke weed, it's like, what am I going to do? Go to a shop and, what, just hang out like a weirdo? Excuse me, sir, if you're not going to buy anything, please get out. So I'm kind of just wandering aimlessly at the moment. I kind of want to go to a temple. So I think my next move is to get out of Bangkok. If I was just looking to get drunk and get some pussy and do some nitrous oxide at a bar or something, there's a whole economy for that here. If I wanted to take, I had to search it up, I forgot what it was called, but it was like a cousin of Viagra, I guess. And I've noticed here in Bangkok, at least in the Sukhumvit area, they sell a lot of dildos and, like, I guess erectile dysfunction type of medication. But from what I see, it looks like something that you sniff, and it's kind of like a legal speed, what it looks like. So there's a lot of stimulants and sexual stimulating medications and all sorts of stuff you can get at the pharmacy that's completely legal, or at least in the gray area. Don't get me wrong, mate, I ain't fucking judging. You gotta do what you gotta do, and if you're a single dude wanting to get some poontang, Thailand is a kingdom, literally, but also in the context that you're gonna feel like a king. But that's not all Thailand is, you know, that's not all Bangkok is. And I guess like any country, any culture, there's always gonna be different filters, different sides to everything. But I'm done. Addiction is one of those things that where with time and practice, you no longer have to use your willpower for the most part. It falls away naturally. Like I don't have to actively engage my will to not drink alcohol and not go to a pub and like, oh no, don't do it, Tom. No, it's just, it's not part of who I am. I don't want to do it. When I cut out certain options in life, it frees up mental bandwidth, you know? It gives me more time to focus and think and act on other things. I think the most difficult thing, honestly, about quitting was the community aspect of it, because it was always like, oh, hang out with a mate, like, all right, let's go smoke. Like, it was always that social ritual that we always did together, whether it's chilling at home, watching a movie, before a meal, after a meal, chilling out in nature. It was this sacramental ritual. And when I gave that up, I had to give up all those social aspects. It was difficult. But you'd be surprised on who you inspire. It could be a stoner friend that you think, oh, he's never going to quit. But maybe you just got to take that first step and they start to realize, like, oh, you know what, maybe I should cut down a little bit. Or let's learn to hang out and do social activities without this particular sacrament, you know? Learn to enjoy life from other means. Because when the green, the Mary Jane, becomes the center of your reality, the center of all your activities, as soon as you take it away, then it's like, oh, everything kind of feels empty, at least for a while. But it's also the relationship that you have with it, you know. I know people, not personally, but at least I know of people, friend of a friend of a friend. Some people claim that they have a healthy relationship with Mary Jane, that they use it even for integration, for spirituality. And I'd have to be a judgmental prick to deny everyone's personal experience, so I'm not going to say nothing about that, but I think it's definitely possible. If I see people, let's say, any habit like video games, let's take for example. Some people don't have the mental bandwidth and the strength and the willpower to just play one match and let it go. No. There's people that I know, me included in the past, that if I played games, I'd be playing until 4 o'clock in the morning. It would take over my entire existence. And even if I'm not playing the game, I'd be filling my brain with strategies and content relating to that game. Gambling, another example. Some people can play a poker hand every once in a while and then never think about it for the rest of their life. They don't have that pull towards it. And other people, whew, they do something like a simple sports bet and they're doing nasty things for a $10 note just to do one more bet. So I can see it. I can see it with many different habits. So why not cannabis, right? And maybe I'm just not at that point in my life where I can just have a drag and then let it go and never think about it again. At this stage in my life, I know myself and it ain't gonna fly. So sometimes the best thing to do is complete abstinence and sobriety. But without, because it's not like I'm an alcoholic, right? Where, honestly, I think even if I had a joint, I don't think I'm just gonna go straight back to where I was. But I could. It's a possibility. Sometimes you gotta humble yourself and not think like, oh yeah, I'm super strong and I'm never gonna be at a point in my life where I'm gonna feel vulnerable and get back onto a bad habit that I used to have that I thought I conquered. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Life ain't always so easy. So I'd rather just avoid that whole fiasco. But having a tribe is important, mate. Having a good support network. Even my mate Tom, he's still smoking, but when he's with me, he just won't smoke. And it's not because of, you know, like I can't take it if someone lights a joint in front of me. I've had plenty of people smoke joints in front of me since I've stopped. Because again, you don't want to have that emotional charge surrounding it where it's like, oh, if I see it, oh, I'm gonna fall. It's like, nah, man. As long as I don't take a drag, then I should be all right. You can smoke all you want in front of me. It doesn't affect me. But he'll still do it just out of respect. You know, not that he even has to. And I'm not going to respect him any more or less if he does. But it's also kind of nice, you know. Having a supportive friend group is very helpful, you know. You know, I went on a pilgrimage. What the hell are they doing there? Like a Thai Zumba? Even in the middle of a national park, you can't escape the noise pollution completely. But this is pretty much as quiet as we're going to get it. I'll take it. I'll take it! Yeah, I went to the pilgrimage in the Grampians the other day, going on an epic spiritual voyage through the mountains. We may or may not have taken some shamanic medicine in different forms. And honestly, man, that's the stuff that really lights my soul up. It's a few things. It's creating valuable but meaningful content, but also connecting with people from all walks of life, but on the same journey of self-discovery, on the same journey of the outcast who doesn't get accepted by mainstream society, but they still do what they can to do their best, to eat as healthy as they can, to take care of their body, to explore their mind, to connect with spirit, with nature, with God. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. And this is the kind of space that I've wanted to create for a long time. And I don't know what stops me. Part of it is getting swept up in my own cycles, my own habits of like, oh, because, you know, for example, I work 7 days a week. But here's the secret. Here's the biggest secret to sustaining a positive habit, and especially not relapsing and going back on a destructive one, whatever it is. Could also apply to being addicted to negative thoughts. Just opening your mouth when you shouldn't, which gets you in trouble. Being an asshole. Some of us are addicted to being an asshole, and I see that within myself too, where I'll just say something just to get a reaction. You know, I do this to my wife all the time, and you know, most of it's all fun and games, but sometimes I take it too far. Sometimes it's like, well, what am I doing? What am I trying to accomplish here? To piss her off, and then what? So I could have 5 seconds of laughter like a clown? You know, that know-it-all trickster coming out. Sometimes it's, I guess you just gotta read the room sometimes. You know what I mean? You just gotta look for the others, man. Look for the others. That's the key to all of this. It's just one thing that's gonna keep it sustainable. It's gonna keep it consistent. It's gonna stop you from going back to the old ways. It's community, mate. It's community. And I mean a real community. I know that, you know, I appreciate all you guys watching this virtually on the interwebs, watching this YouTube video, and it's been a blessing in my life, really. Sometimes it overwhelms me when I really think about it. I just try not to, I suppose. And I guess this is how I can stay authentic and relatable and grounded, is this, when I make these videos, it's like, no, I'm just talking to a friend. I'm talking to one person. And that's it. That's the kind of style that I like to go for anyways. And so this community is great, but you need a real community, like in-person community, friendship, brotherhood, peer group. And not all of these are necessarily the same either, because you could have good friends, but they're not necessarily going to be on the same journey as you. And so sometimes you need a peer group. Like if you want to work out, for example, if you have a group of people that maybe you go and see 2 or 3 times a week for a group class, boom, they're your peer group for that fitness goal. You could have a brotherhood for, let's say, a retreat that you go to, some sort of a spiritual pilgrimage up in the mountains, where a bunch of people link together and they go through this incredible journey of self-discovery, connection, and dropping into the heart, being vulnerable. See, that's a tribe. And it fulfills deep needs that humans have. And sometimes you gotta seek it out. Go on these retreats, sign up to a course, like just do something that will put you in a place where you're gonna be surrounded by like-minded people who have a similar future. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Hang out with people who share a future vision, not just a common past. The past is the past, man. I mean, if you want to just keep bringing the past back and recreating the same fucking bullshit reality again and again, then be my guest. But it sucks. It's not worth it. It ain't freaking worth it, man. Hang out with people who challenge you, who just by being in their presence, it's like, oh, I don't want to eat McDonald's. I want to eat some salmon or avocado or a nutritional food, and then go on a mountain hike and push myself that extra mile that I wouldn't usually go for. If I was by myself, I would give up and turn around. But because I'm with a group, the group dynamic helps you go much further on your mission, on your journey, than you ever could alone. And then you've got peer groups from like legends, you know, your Ram Dass's, your Viktor Frankl, Tony Robbins, religion, the Buddha, Jesus, ancient Egyptian wisdom, Hermes Trismegistus, even fictional characters like Gandalf the Grey. There's so much inspiration out there. Mentors who can give you guidance, even if it's through books. It's not the only guidance I would recommend, but shit, man, we've got something. We've got the tools around us, you know. Like, I get it, man. It's easy to get sucked into this matrix and go back on old habits. And again, I'm always going to bring it back to tribe, mates, brothers, sisters, family. This is going to change the freaking game. It's a constant reminder. I knew this years ago and I still have to relearn it. Still today, like, oh fuck. Yeah, of course, no shit. Yeah, anyways. You've got this. Check out my Quitting Mary Jane video if you haven't already, for a little bit more context. It's a bloody good one, mate, I promise you.